3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, Mystery Reading at number 1167. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting the subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. If you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support in helping me reach 300 subscribers at this time, as well as your presence during this reading. So I did see the number 111 on the timer, which is a pretty big sign about having trust and faith, both in yourself and in the universe, both in what you're capable of and what is possible for you. Your self-confidence could definitely be a significant topic here. But moving into interpreting 1167, there are two ones, and we just established that number one is about having trust and faith, and so that feels like a pretty big message here to just trust yourself, trust the universe, and believe in yourself and in the universe. If you are struggling with trust and faith, whether it's spiritual or more practical, I really encourage you to analyze or examine where the struggle is coming from. Understand the symptoms, the illness, the disease, so you can cure it. And that could be metaphorical. I mean, it definitely feels like it is, since we're talking about trust and faith. But I suppose it could also be literal, depending on who's watching this and what really resonates for you. But the number 6 is about encouragement for you to love yourself and care for yourself instead of hate and neglect yourself, knowing that this choice between self-love and self-hate is much bigger than you and will define if you are contributing to a greater war between love and hate, between truth and lies. If you're feeling frustrated or some heavy negative emotions, how can you use these feelings to work for you rather than against you? I think it's interesting because I feel like when we feel these feelings, it's natural to want to take it out on ourselves and our future, but there's always a better way to express it, to not take it out on ourselves, to not sabotage our future, and to rather see it as fuel to care and love for ourselves and to protect our future, especially if you feel like there's something really important to learn from what you are feeling. And speaking about learning from what you are feeling, moving on to the number 7, this number is about becoming wiser and more deeply connected with yourself and the universe, with others, with your environment in a spiritual way. It's about expanding your awareness and your consciousness. So it really, really feels like you have an opportunity here to become more awake, to experience your first spiritual awakening, or to experience a new awakening, or to awaken deeper to something that you are already awake to. I'm kind of feeling connected to, I don't know if this is a real island, but I'm feeling connected to Waco Island. It's making me think of this TV show that I used to watch when I was younger called H2O. And how if these women were to touch water, they would transform into their mermaid form. Give me a second to think. I mean, I definitely feel that the element of water, especially because of the name H2O, could be significant. Yeah, because like when you think about H2O, that's like the chemical name for it. You know? So it's like really reminding me of whenever I was talking about understanding the symptoms and the disease so you can cure it. It's just really giving this microscopic type of feeling, like really deeply analyzing every little piece of what you are feeling, every little thought that you have, every little feeling or belief that you have. It's really just taking a magnifying glass, a spiritual magnifying glass, and taking a much, much deeper look. It feels like there could be something here deeply psychological for you to understand or wake up to about yourself, or even deeply spiritual. The element of water is connected to your emotions for me, by the way. I'm also feeling connected to the element of fire, which I see as being connected to passion and the specific emotion of anger. There's a lot of emotion here and a lot of passion. And I feel like it's so important for you to analyze and explore these feelings so you can better understand how to love yourself and how to have more trust and faith in yourself and the universe. How you feel does matter, and it does have meaning. And it really feels like it has meaning that you don't even see or recognize or realize yet. How you feel matters. I just want you to know that. But adding up these numbers, 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. And I have 2 messages for number 15 in particular, because it is on the Devil card in Tarot. I see it as being connected to unhealthy attachments, unhealthy relationships, addictions, unhealthy habits, just really feeling like a slave to your desires, maybe even your emotions in this case. The Devil card is really about freeing yourself from something, psychological, spiritual, or physical, breaking free from some sort of prison. Prism, P-R-I-S-M, might be significant. I'm feeling connected to that word. But the other message with the number 15, 1 plus 5 is 6, is about self-love, which we already talked about. It's just confirmation here for you to love yourself. And I do think that analyzing these deep emotions is a form of self-love, because you're putting time and effort into yourself to understand yourself, so you can better understand what you need, what you want, and just really connect with yourself on a much deeper level, it seems like. Overall, this number 1167 has encouraged you to have trust and to have faith, to love yourself, and to not be tempted by self-destructive behaviors or even self-destructive inner dialogue, just a lot of frustration and resentment towards yourself. there is encouragement here for you to explore some intense feelings that you are feeling. Anger, sadness, just your emotions feel really powerful. Tell you something. I feel like they are trying to, indirectly I guess, help you how to understand how to free yourself, how to find peace. Because you can't fix the problem until you understand what the problem actually is. You can't change your perspective if you don't already understand the perspective that you already have. Yeah, definitely. I'm feeling connected to this card that I made that says you're at the part. It says something along the lines of where you're at the part of understanding the problem so you can fix it. So I really, really encourage you to understand what it is that you're feeling, the weight within you that you are carrying so you can free yourself. Which honestly, I do think that freedom is going to be about self-love. It's just a matter of understanding what kind of love you actually need from yourself right now. There could be somebody here who feels like they just want to be held and comforted. And for me personally, it really, really helps. What helps me feel that way is knowing that the universe is on my side to support me, to guide me, not to lay out the answers for me, but to help me find the answers that I need, to support me. And so, if you're comfortable, I do encourage you to connect with the universe, communicate with your spirit guides however you feel called to, through tarot cards, just with your own inner dialogue, whatever works for you. But I just picked up the Secrets of Tarot cards off of the table. Yeah, I'm actually going to switch these. I'm going to switch them to the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. This reading here could be particularly significant for you if you watched the previous one, 1166, but this is what the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot looks like. And I'm just going to pull a few of these cards to better understand what we have already been talking about, or to talk about something that needs to be talked about but we haven't addressed yet. Yeah. We have the Empress in reverse. This is a major arcana card. And what I wrote on this card is too hard on yourself. Give yourself room to make mistakes. Upright, it says creative impulses, compassion, maternal, nurturing, love yourself, and kindness. The Empress in reverse can also be a card that feels suffocating or smothering. The Empress knows how to take care of herself. And I feel that this should be your focus right now. But it's more like a focus on how to take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, and maybe even spiritually too, depending on how spiritually connected you are. But the Empress card, it has the number 3 on it. And I see the number 3 as being about self-expression, using your voice. You could feel called to express yourself in creative ways to help you process these feelings and understand them. For me personally, I love journaling. I love using meditation music to just let me really just sit in a vibe, and think and reflect. It just feels like there's a call here to put so much intention into understanding yourself so you can understand, like I said before, how you need to love and care for yourself right now. Oh, I didn't say that the number 3 is also about, I wanted to say having trust and faith. I don't usually see it that way, but what I meant to say is taking an opportunity to heal and to grow. And since we have an Empress here, a major arcana, it feels like there is a major opportunity to heal deeply and to grow a lot, especially when you think about how intense, the emotions that you're feeling are. The next card I have is the Seven of Wands. And it says, truthful with self, hold your ground, and competition. In reverse, it says lack of self-confidence. I think in the beginning I did say your confidence might be a significant thing here. But the Seven of Wands is about standing up for yourself, standing your ground. When it's in reverse, it's about feeling defeated and like you want to give up. And I kind of feel like that's where you might be, just feeling overwhelmed and exhausted and frustrated. It's really hard to have patience right now, but that doesn't mean that you should ignore the patience that you deserve to have for yourself right now. There may really need to be a need here to be honest with yourself about what you're feeling and what you need. The number 7 is on this card, of course, and as we said, it's about becoming wiser, more spiritually connected, and becoming more awake, more aware, and more conscious. So like I said before, I really encourage you to explore these feelings, to stand up for yourself, to hold your ground on what you deserve. Maybe you feel like you're fighting yourself, or maybe your shadow inside of you, your own darkness, yeah? It's like healing, doing shadow work or whatever. It's not about getting rid of the darkness. It's about repurposing it or transmuting it into light, so you have more room in your life to feel free, to breathe, to come up for air. Let's go ahead and get the last card. If it would let me. Wow. You have the Three of Wands. Another 3. Express yourself, heal, and grow. This says partnership, meet up, date, social, communication, cooperation, collaboration. There's the word trust. I thought I saw it somewhere else, but yeah. The Three of Wands is about literally expanding and growing. It's about collaboration, cooperation. I feel like this is more about you being willing to collaborate and cooperate with the side of yourself that wants you to have better, that wants you to feel better and more free. I really encourage you to approach your darkness with patience and kindness and understanding, almost as if it's a separate person who is just really struggling and really going through it, feeling really lost and confused and just needing some light in their life. It feels like there's a side of you that is feeling so deeply in pain that what you don't need is to be hard on yourself. Up here it says too hard on yourself. Are you judging yourself too harshly? Are you setting the bar too high for yourself? Are your expectations too high? What are you telling yourself that is unfair and untrue about yourself? What you're capable of, what's possible for you, or just what you even deserve? Yeah. I'm feeling connected to the zodiac sign of Pisces. But as I said before about there being a lot of emotion and passion here, the Wands cards are about passion, what inspires you, what drives you. And I personally see the Empress card as, managing your emotions, emotional maturity. And so it's even being reflected in these cards. Overall, in this reading, you've been encouraged to have trust and faith, both in yourself and in the universe. you've also been encouraged pretty heavily to love yourself and free yourself from feeling like a slave to your emotions, your desires, your passion even. There's an opportunity here to really learn something very deeply about yourself that you deserve to know, that will also not only help you feel more free, but also have more clarity and a better sense of direction and ultimately fulfillment in life, which you really deserve. All of these things. The cards on the table are telling me that there is somebody here who is way too hard on themselves, and you need to be more kind and gentle and nurturing and caring towards yourself. Maybe as you deserved when you were a child, or just as you deserve from the people around you. You define how you treat yourself, not other people and how they treat you. You define what you deserve, the care that you deserve, not those around you, not neglectful parents, whatever it is that makes it hard for you to see what you actually deserve here. There's a call here for you to really, really stand up for yourself, and to take this opportunity to heal and to grow. There's a lot of feelings here for you to express yourself so you can understand yourself. Give yourself the space and the time, the patience and the understanding, the grace that you deserve right now to understand and free yourself.